My name is Zanil, and I'm from Pretoria, South Africa. I need to share this story with you because it still feels like a bad dream, a nightmare I can't wake up from. I was born with a spiritual gift. My mother had it. My grandmother too. But most of my family never accepted it. They ran away from it. Me, I couldn't. I feel things. I can sense when someone is jealous. I can feel danger before it comes. I even carry the marks, black spots on my body, scars from spiritual battles I fought and survived. In May 2020, I found out I was pregnant. I didn't tell anyone, not even my family. Only the baby's father knew. At that time, I was very close to my neighbor, Thuli. We were like sisters. We did everything together, even though we were both unemployed. But in September, I got a job. I thought life was finally getting better. But that's when the attacks began. It was mid-October. I was at work when I felt something strange, warm water running down my legs. I hadn't peed myself. I went home and tried to rest, but it didn't stop. The next day, a kind coworker took me to a clinic. No one in my family knew. The clinic said I was miscarrying and rushed me to the hospital. I finally told my mom. She met me there. But the hospital told a different story. They said it was just an infection. The baby was fine. They gave me pills and sent me home. Those pills were supposed to clear everything in 2 days. But with me, it went on for 2 weeks. Every single day. Water. Pain. Confusion. By then, my sisters and even Thuli knew something was wrong. Then one morning, I woke up to green discharge. I rushed to the hospital again. They still said, just an infection. I decided that was it. I was quitting my job. I was going to stay home and protect my baby. November 13th, 2020. I planned to go to work one last time. That morning, I sat on the toilet, and I felt something coming out. No pain. No contractions. Just pressure. I called my mom. She came in and helped me to the bed. That's when I saw it. A tiny hand. I was in labor, 5 months early. They rushed me to the hospital. Emergency C-section. My baby was born so small, so fragile. The hospital wasn't ready for a baby that early, so they flew her to another place, to a better hospital. She stayed in NICU. I stayed with her for a month and 2 weeks. The night before we were discharged, my late grandmother came to me in a dream. She said, "Take care of your baby." I felt peace. I thought it was over. I thought we had survived the worst. I was wrong. After we got home, strange things started happening. At night, we'd hear tapping on the windows, footsteps on the roof. In the daytime, birds, cats, and chickens kept showing up in the yard. One of them always found a way inside the house. Then my daughter turned one. That night, as we were about to sleep, she just stared at the window. Her eyes were wide, full of fear. She clung to my arm and cried, hiding her face. I knew what it was. Something had come to take her. I called my mom and sisters. We prayed over her. She finally slept. But the evil didn't stop. Weeks later, it came back stronger. That night, cats were fighting outside. But in the middle of their screams, there was a sound. A sound I can't explain. It wasn't human. It wasn't animal. It was evil. My blood froze. The next morning, we found a dead cat in the yard. Now let me tell you, my family has a back to sender. Whatever you send to harm us, goes right back to you. And that same day, one of the neighbor's children, Thuli's son, took his own life. That's when I knew this thing was real. And it wasn't playing. Later, the baby's father went to a spiritual healer, an Inyanga. He told him, "Take your baby to your late mother's grave, or she will die." We didn't get the chance. On September 8, 2022, at 9:45 p.m., I was holding my daughter as she slept. I felt her heartbeat slow down. I ran to my mother. That was the last time I held my baby alive. While preparing for the funeral, a family friend, a prophet, came to see me. He asked, "Why did you cut off your baby's spirit?" I was confused. "What are you talking about?" I asked. He said, "Her neck, it was covered in dark markings. Whoever came for her soul made sure she didn't survive. They cut her so she could not return." That night, my father had a dream. His late mother appeared, holding my daughter. She said, "You failed to protect her in the world of the living." I had to fight to bring her spirit back. And then everything made sense. Thuli, my friend. She had used her gift to track me, to spy on my life. She was part of the ones who wanted to steal my baby's soul. But like I said before, we send it back. After that, Thuli lost her job. Her daughter came back from university. And something happened. Nobody speaks of it. Thuli and I don't talk anymore. She is no longer the woman I once knew. I may never get my baby back. But I promise you this, anyone who touches my bloodline again will feel the wrath of everything that protects me. They tried to steal my daughter's soul. But now, they're the ones paying the price. I never believed a simple video on TikTok could ruin someone's life, until it happened to me. My name is Julia, and I used to work in a busy workshop in Lagos, Nigeria. Life was simple, and I minded my own business. But one day, while scrolling through TikTok at night, I came across a strange video. It showed a girl who used something called a love spell to make her crush fall for her. The video looked innocent, just candles, paper, and a few words spoken into a mirror. I was curious. There was this guy at work, Juan. He was charming, quiet, and always smelled good. But he didn't really notice me. So, I followed the video. I did the love spell, then the binding spell, then the obsession spell, and finally, the third-party remover spell, just to make sure no other woman could get close to him. I thought it was harmless. But everything changed the next morning. Juan came to work and smiled at me like we had known each other forever. By the end of the week, he moved into my apartment. I was shocked, but excited. It felt like magic had worked. At first, it was sweet. He made me breakfast. He held my hand all the time. He called me his forever. But soon, it became too much. He started getting obsessive. On our days off, when I wanted to rest alone, he waited outside the workshop for hours just to watch me. If I went to the bathroom, he stood by the door. If I took a shower, he stood inside the bathroom, staring at me. I couldn't breathe without him watching. When I told him I wasn't comfortable anymore, he didn't cry. He didn't shout. He pulled out a gun. Yes, a real firearm. He pointed it at me with cold eyes and said, "Promise me you will never leave. Promise me now." I was shaking. My knees almost gave way. I nodded and made the promise. I had no choice. From then on, it got worse. He started hitting me. Not once. Not twice. Over and over. The gun was always near, like a warning. Every little thing made him angry. And every time I tried to talk or complain, he reminded me of the promise, with the gun in his hand. One day, he left the house. My heart raced. I grabbed my phone and quickly called my mother. "Please come get me," I whispered. "Please, before he comes back." But while I was still on the phone, I heard the door creak. Juan was back. His face was dark. He knew. "Who were you talking to?" he asked. My mouth was dry. Just a friend." He stared at me for a long time. Then he said, "If you ever try to leave, I will end your life. I will make sure no one finds your body." Then he left again. I didn't wait. I ran to the door, locked it from top to bottom, and sat in the corner, crying, waiting for my mom. I could hear him outside, shouting, kicking the door, screaming my name, threatening me. But I didn't open. When my mom arrived, I left with only a bag and the clothes on my back. I never returned to that house. But the scariest part? I still had to work with him at the same workshop. I needed the job. Then things took a strange turn. Juan went to the police. He filed a restraining order against me. He told them I was trying to kill him, that I was obsessed with him. The same man who stalked me, beat me, and pointed a gun at my head. I was the one running, but he made it seem like I was the hunter. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. My life felt like a nightmare. That's when I realized I had done this to myself. I remembered the TikTok spells, the words I spoke, the candles I lit, the mirror I stared into. I called my mother and told her everything. She took me to a spiritual elder in our village. He asked me to kneel and confess everything to my ancestors. I cried. I begged. I asked them to take it all back, to break every spell, to undo what I had done. The elder prayed for hours. He used bitter herbs and water from the river. He told me the spirits were angry because I forced a soul to love what it didn't want to love. After that night, everything started to change. Juan stopped coming close to me at work. He stopped talking to me. The darkness in his eyes faded. The fire in his rage went cold. It was like he forgot everything. I finally felt free. But even now, I never scroll carelessly on TikTok. I don't laugh at those harmless spell videos, because I know the truth. Spells are real. And sometimes, the biggest curse is getting what you asked for. I know this sounds crazy, but what if I told you my best friend died, and then came back to speak to me? What if she told me she wasn't dead at all, but trapped in a dark room, and that the person holding her there was someone we all knew? This is my story, and I haven't told anyone the full truth until now. Her name was Bella. We met in 2016 during our first year at university. She was the kind of friend that felt like a sister. We did everything together: lectures, lunch, gossip, even study late into the night. She wasn't loud or flashy, but she had this quiet kindness that made you feel safe. In 2020, everything changed. Bella got pregnant. I remember the day she told me. Her hands were shaking, her voice barely a whisper. People started talking, and she slowly began to withdraw. We were still friends, but there was a distance. Life took us in different directions, but I never stopped caring about her. In 2021, our final year, I got the worst news I could imagine. Bella had fallen seriously ill. Within just a week, her body changed. She lost so much weight, it was like she was fading away. She was admitted to the hospital, and doctors said she had blood cancer. It all happened so fast. One week we were talking. The next, I was standing at her funeral. Everyone said she was gone. But in my heart, I knew something wasn't right. I couldn't cry. Not because I wasn't sad, but because it didn't feel real. Something deep inside me kept whispering, "She's not dead." One night, a few weeks later, I was alone in my room. Just me and my phone. I was scrolling mindlessly, trying not to think too much, when I heard it. A voice. "Listen to me. I want to talk to you." It was Bella's voice. I froze. My blood went cold. I turned off my phone screen and held my breath. Then I heard her again. "Please, listen to me carefully. I'm not dead. I'm trapped." At first, I thought I was dreaming. But I wasn't. Bella said a woman, someone who lived just opposite her family's house, had locked her in a dark room. A room with no windows. No light. Just walls. She said the woman had spiritual powers, and that she was using Bella's soul to gain strength. "She feeds off me," she whispered. "She won't let me go." I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. My heart was pounding. Then she said something I'll never forget. "She knows I spoke to you. Please be careful. Don't tell anyone. If you do, you'll be in danger." And just like that, she was gone. The next morning, I told my mom everything. She looked at me like I was crazy, but then her face changed. She believed me. I also told Bella's little sister. And what she said broke me. She told me Bella had also appeared to her, in her sleep, begging for help. That's when I knew I wasn't hallucinating. I wasn't going crazy. Bella was reaching out from wherever she was. And she wanted to come home. After that night, my life changed. Strange things started happening around me. I would wake up with bruises and scratches. I'd feel someone breathing near my neck when I was completely alone. Sometimes I'd hear footsteps in my room or whispers outside my window at night. But when I checked, nothing. People with strange eyes, red, glassy, started showing up near my house. They never spoke, just stood there, watching. I was terrified. I knew they were connected to the woman Bella warned me about. I knew they were coming for me. Pastors prayed. My mother fasted. I was anointed with oil. But the attacks didn't stop, because I knew the truth. Every few nights, Bella would return in my dreams. Each time, she looked worse. Her face pale, her eyes full of tears. She said the room was cold. That time didn't move in there. That every scream she let out echoed, but no one ever came. She's using my pain, Bella told me. That's how she stays powerful. She locks young souls in this place and feeds on our energy. I asked her how I could help, but she always gave the same answer. I don't know. I don't know. Just don't forget me. Please don't forget me.